Good afternoon, America. Kevin Clark here live from Minnesota. Many hopeless. Another Democrat mayor. Another one that's making national news. They seem to forget that it was 2 or 3 years ago, right over in St. Paul. Young man with his fiancée and her 2 children. I believe it was over in Lake Phelan. Pulled over for a traffic incident. You have any firearms in the car, sir? Yes, officer, I do. I have a license to carry a concealed permit. Now, this is flaming blue liberal Minnesota. So you have to pretty much be an altar boy to get a concealed CCW here, carrying a concealed weapon permit. So when this young black man reached for his permit to show the police officer, which he announced ahead of time, he said, I have a weapon here and I have a carry commit CCW. Would you like to see my CCW? The officer said yes, wanted to see his permit to carry. When he reached for his wallet, the officer opened fire and murdered the young man. Halfway through the shooting, because I think he shot him several times, unfortunately, I'm like the rest of America. I've forgotten already. It should never be forgotten. This is why what happened on Monday here happened Monday. This young black man, his fiancée, turned on the camera, and it was on Facebook before they pulled it down. The murder of this young man over a traffic violation. This wasn't a check forgery. This was like running a stop sign. And we murder a guy that's legally carrying a gun. Okay? That's what you get when you have Democrats running the city. Mayors, governors. Let's look at California, San Francisco, Los Angeles. Let's look on the East Coast. Baltimore, New York, Midwest, Detroit, Chicago. Chicago, murder capital of the country. I guess in Chicago, black lives really don't matter, because I have not heard lamestream media report the 10 dead from Memorial Day yet. 10 people shot to death. I guess that's just not important. Or is it that it doesn't make good press for the Democrat mayor? You've got the Democrat media, and you've got a few other avenues that you can go through. But 90% of the media is Democrat run. That's why they're jumping on this, and they're beating the death out of this white cop killing the black guy. Okay? This is Minneapolis. This is kind of different, that there was murder involved. But abuse has been rampant of the citizens of this area for the last 25, 30 years. And I know this to be a fact because I lived out here for 37 years. I used to work at the detox. I'm not going to say which one because that will open up a can of worms and hold me liable. I'm just telling you, I've seen more than one Native American show up at detox in the trunk. They didn't transport him in the back seat because they didn't want him vomited because it smelled so bad. Subhuman treatment of Native Americans on a constant, ongoing basis. You don't see a lot of outcry for that. You see a lot of white racists, and they talk about people being prejudiced and the blacks being mistreated. If you're Native American in Minneapolis, you've been mistreated your whole life because they hate you here. And you've been branded. And it's not right. Okay? Never has been, never will be. The problems here are so deep. I keep getting bits and pieces, and as I'm trying to put this thing together, I don't need a lot of help from the inside. I don't need a lot of help from them trying to doctor up the truth. Fact is, the main guy, there was 4 cops on the scene. The lead officer is the one that killed the gentleman. Yeah, forgery. I can call him a gentleman. That's white collar crime. Not a dope dealer. It's forgery. You don't go after forgers the same way you do murderers and dope dealers. Why was the excessive force involved here? Excuse me, my daughter made me a cup of coffee. And I just had a brownie that was about the best I've had in 15 years. My youngest can bake like nobody's business, about like her grandma Ward could. So that kind of came down through me, through my mama's mama. She was from Arkansas. She used to make the best peach cobbler on earth. Now she's making it for Jesus. So back to these cops, right? Now, this is the thing that kills me. We've got 4 officers that they've hired, 3 of which are underlings, and they're supposed to stand down in a situation. Well, you know what? I would rather be fired as a police officer for doing the right thing than to get fired for sitting there and watching my boss kill somebody on live film. Folks, they filmed this, okay? You got 3 guys there. They got fired. If there was 4 guys making a citizen's arrest, you can't tell me they all wouldn't be up on murder charges, or you'd have 1 on murder and 3 on accessory. Period. Why did the cops get a free pass to kill? Why didn't one of those 3 go over to his boss and see that he was wrong and say, let's get him in the car? Let's get him in the car. That's why you roughed him up in the first place. Supposedly, he was resisting arrest and didn't want to go in the car because he was claustrophobic, which I can understand. I'm 6'3", 6'2". I'm getting old, about 6'1.5" now. I don't fit in the back of those real good. I think. I don't know. No, that's not true. I've been there. I don't fit good, okay? But I don't fight cops, you know? Throughout my life, I've gotten a different style. Some people go one or two ways when it comes to dealing with the cops. You can be a smartass or a dumbass, okay? My best friend, he was always a smartass. I love him. God but rest his soul. But I'm always a dumbass. They say, you know how fast you're going? I say, well, no, officer, I don't. Obviously, or we wouldn't be having this conversation. You know, I don't tell them, hell yeah, I know how fast I was going. I wasn't speeding. What's your problem? I don't do that. So, yeah, but there's no winning with these guys. You got a 50-50 shot in Minnesota when you get stopped, whether you're going to get a good cop or a bad cop. Now, I ran into some officers up in northern Minnesota that I'd stand with and die for because they were good cops. But I've ran into some POSs here in Minneapolis and South Minneapolis, like around Nicollet, and I'm going to go ahead and do it, okay? You get around Nicollet and Lake, Nicollet and 36th Street, punk cops. For 30 years, they've been wearing gloves. And it ain't been over no coronavirus. It's because they didn't want to take you to jail, so they'd beat you half to death, and they didn't want to get any blood on their hands. They were worried about HIV. And they used to target the gays and the druggers, the people that were strung out, you know, your heroin addicts and so forth. They knew where they were all congregated. And anybody else they didn't like on a traffic stop. They threatened me in front of my wife and 2 kids one time in South Minneapolis. If it wasn't for my wife, my ex-wife, I'd probably be walking funny right now. Because I wouldn't be surprised at all. And it was in the same area. If the cop was the rookie that I just about got out of my car that was cussing and swearing at the time, and I was going to church, but I just lost it. I was actually in regular fellowship at that time. But this guy's language was so vulgar in front of my wife and children, I was going to get out and peel him. Just knock him right out, okay? He was half my size, and I was going to teach him a lesson. I guess back then I was 6'2.5". And I don't like you talking like that in front of my wife and kids. You're supposed to be here to protect and serve, not to intimidate and scare. Who do you think you are? Yeah, they've had a police problem here for a long time. It's got nothing to do with white and black. It's got to do with stupid Democrats laying out liberal rules. And they wouldn't have done a thing about this unless it was white on black, because these idiots have been doing this for years. So if you want to politicize this and make it a racial thing, you can. But it's not the truth. The truth is they hate everyone down there. They all got bad attitudes. Yeah, you can ask the gays, you can ask the blacks, you can ask the Native Americans. Sorry, Joe Biden slipped there. I guess this last week I just seen a clip where Joe Biden says, and I'm going to beat Biden. All right, now Biden's beating Biden. I think he might have got that one right. He is going to beat himself. You guys have a blessed day. I'm going to keep my ear to the ground. I'm getting all local news here. There's like 4 or 5 different local stations. They're all talking different smack. They're all trying to make this a racial thing, and it's not a racial thing. This is one of the most well, it could be a racial thing, okay? Because this is liberal. The Democrats run on racial shit and fear. And that's what they pump to install. Except for Joe Biden just cut the whole chase this last week. He said, you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Are you kidding me? You got a problem if you've got to think about who you're going to vote for, you ain't black. So in other words, if you don't vote for me, he took away your black card. Really? Trump never did that. Trump has never done that. I think what Trump said was something like, you know, these guys have been lying to you for years. Why don't you try a different party? What do you got to lose? Most are glad they did. You guys have a blessed day. Nobody here that I'm talking to, my daughter is a liberal. She's not a Democrat. She's not a Republican. She wouldn't do a video with me. I want to get one done with one of my kids while I'm out here. They don't like Dad because he's a roaring conservative Christian Republican. And I pretty much try to stand right next to what it says in the Bible. God's not for killing babies. And you're hard-pressed. There are a few Democrats that don't believe in murdering babies, but most of them enjoy it. Okay? That just rubs me the wrong way. That's one issue that's way past the line in the sand. You believe in killing babies, you can't buy my vote with cash. Right now I'm broke. I think I got about $20 in my name. You could offer me $1 million to vote for Joe Biden. I wouldn't do it. I got to stand before my maker. It says every knee will bow, every tongue will confess. So I hope you leave me a comment in the section below. Let me know what you're thinking about this situation. Is there anything that I missed on this? The problem's way up at the top, and it's coming down. It was a lead officer to kill that gentleman last night, or on Monday. Keep that in mind. It was the boss that killed that gentleman. And why didn't one of the 3 guys under him come to his senses and do the right thing? You had 3 officers that didn't know the right thing to do. Was it get him up off the ground and get him in the backseat of the car? What kind of training are these guys getting? That it's okay to lay a guy down on the street for 10 minutes, a half hour, with your knee in the back of their neck? You don't have to be Democrat, you don't have to be black to want to knock that guy's head off that had his knee in the back of the guy's neck. I keep asking myself, why wasn't one of the 3 decent enough to go over and do the right thing and save this guy's life? Are you kidding me? Folks, like, share, subscribe. I'll keep you posted. I can't get this up on Facebook. I put something like this on Facebook, I'll be 3 months back in Facebook jail. I'm also ready to take down my Instagram account. They're messing with me. They're messing with several other conservatives. And lately they started arguing with our president. Now, when you think you're smarter than the president, I don't need your account, and I don't want one on your channel. So, folks, I'll be shutting down the Instagram very soon. Have a very blessed day. We love you all. Don't forget to pray for our president. Pray for our first responders, our ambulance drivers, our firemen, and our policemen. They're on the front line. They're under a lot of pressure. Well, let's pray that we weed out the bad ones quickly before we have too many more incidents. We're never going to stop them completely. But there are things that, you know, everybody's forgotten about that young lady that was playing a video game down in, it's a 2-worded town in Texas. Fort Worth, I think it was. Fort Worth, Texas. Neighbor called because the front door was open. Of course, in Texas, it's like most people in Texas are prayed up because half the year it's hot as hell down there. So it's hot, front door's open, cheaper to run the air conditioning. Well, the neighbor called for a checkup by the police. Police didn't go to the front door and check to see if anybody was inside being molested, abducted, if the place was being burglarized. They walked outside the house. They saw the homeowner. Told her to freeze. He drew his gun and said, freeze. She went to put down her game player because she's playing Nintendo with her son. They killed her. This guy needs to go to prison. Okay? I watched the body cam. This is not just Minnesota. Any place you've got Democrats as mayors and governors, you're going to have black people getting killed more frequently than not. Look at Chicago. Look at Baltimore. Look at New York. Look at Detroit. Look at LA. Look at San Francisco. New York. Come on, folks. Wake up. Smell the coffee cooking. This crap's got to stop. They were rioting last night. They'll probably be rioting tonight. We'll keep you posted. You stay blessed. Pray for our president, our first responders. And if you're still not tired of praying, lift me up. I can use it. Need traveling mercies to get home. Need you to pray that Michigan will open up before December 27th, my birthday. Because right now I think half-wit's thinking about keeping her closed through Christmas. Just screwing up the election wouldn't be good enough for her. Have a blessed day. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.